for another bridge extravaganza weekend. We're currently in Crewe. There's a long story going on. There was a storm Babbitt in the UK yesterday, and in Nottingham it just rained, then it rained a bit more, then it rained a bit more. But throughout England there have been floods, and so last night we're staying in Chester. So last night I tried to get the train to Chester. The train to Sheffield was cancelled. The train to Crewe was cancelled. The Crewe train to Chester was cancelled. The train that went from Nottingham to Leicester to Nuneaton to Crewe to Chester was not cancelled, but I sat on it for half an hour and it didn't leave the station, so I just got off, and I think I'm travelling today, and I think, the morning will be better. Woke up, all the trains are cancelled, so I'm halfway through a giant Uber trip from Nottingham to Chester to meet Magnus and Chucker, and we're stopping off in Crewe because Helen's coming from London, or the Dame, we'll meet her in a sec, and picking her up so she doesn't have to pay for an Uber from Crewe. So we're waiting, the train's arriving in about 5 minutes, so we're waiting for Helen in the station foyer, and taxi driver's been nice chats. I think sometimes travelling on the train by yourself is a bit lonely, but anyway, more importantly, we're playing bridge this weekend. So we're playing with Magnus. I'm playing with Magnus for 2 days. We're playing Acol, God's Own system, and we're teaming up with Chucker and Helen for Sunday, which is for teams. This is an Oliver Cowan Congress. He's started to run a lot of the congresses in the UK. He runs some of his own and some for the EBU, kind of like half and half. I don't quite know the split. But his congresses are well run, that you often get fed on them, which is a plus, I think. And well organised and usually decent venues in nice places. So we're in North Wales. North Wales this weekend, so we're going to Chester. I think we're meeting for breakfast in Chester, and then we're going to get a group car to North Wales to the venue. So I don't know what the venue's like. I've not been to this congress before, but I have played with Magnus before, so it should be fun. So here we are at the venue. We've got doesn't seem to be that many tables, 12 tables, so it's just a small congress. We have some people. We have James Thrower. Hi, James. We've got Oliver Cowan. Hello. We've got Jim Edwards, who's our director for the day, and we've got my partner for the day, Magnus. So we're going to be talking some system in a second. Oliver Cowan is the one who runs all these events, so say hi. So we'll chat to him in a bit later. How many tables have we got? 12? 11 tables. Lost some because of the weather. Lost some because of the weather. So we're going to give it a go. So obviously it's one of the smaller congresses we've been to. But we're at a Holiday Inn in Wales, and apparently the hotel we're staying in tonight is going to be pretty good. So we're going to have a quick chat with Magnus, make sure we're on the same wavelength, and then we'll be back with some hands that we all know, love and enjoy. So we just finished first round. Have a big chat with Magnus. How are we doing, Magnus?
Very well, thank you.
Yeah, how was your trip?
Eventful.
Yeah.
And not in a good way.
I think everyone's had horror stories and stuff of just trying to get here. We had couple of words in the first set. I'll do you one now. So, you to go. The vulnerability is. Give me a sec. Everyone's vulnerable, and it goes pass 1 diamond, and you have this hand here. You've got King to 3 spades, King Jack 9 8 to 7 hearts, Singleton diamond, and Queen X of clubs. You've got a 9 count, and obviously you're going to be bidding. You've got 7 hearts. Partner's got a weak hand. Partner's passed, so they might have game on, and their game's going to be a vulnerable game. So you want to try and stop them bidding their vulnerable game if you can, but not go for a penalty if you get caught. So what would you like to bid on the hand? How many hearts would you want to bid? Well, I think it's a choice between 2 and 3. I think 3 hearts, you've got 7 of them, absolutely fine, and it's hard for them to catch you, potentially. The hand on your right would need to have, the hand on your left would need to take out double, and the hand on your right would need to be able to pass with some hearts, or vice versa. The hand on your left will need hearts, and the hand on the right. So it's very difficult potentially for them to gamble that you're going to reopen with a double. If you bid 3 hearts and the hearts are over you, they might just bid 3M. The other thing you can do, obviously 3 hearts cuts out more space from them. So if they've got a spade fit, for example, or something like that, or they can make 3N, it might be difficult for them to bid. If you take up all their space, they might have to bid 5 diamonds or something else. Or they might just let you play in 3 hearts going off. So it's one of these things, and I think if you were unfavourable, 2 hearts might be the limit of the hand, but I'm going to show the whole hand and see what you'd like to bid. So you can see that the hand on your left has both black suits. It's got 5 spades and 4 clubs, but only 8 points. So if you bid 2 hearts, they can do a takeout double, and you might get caught. You can see it's going to go 2 hearts, and then he goes double, pass, pass, pass. But if you bid 3 hearts, he's probably not going to double, and you might get away with it. So 3 hearts is probably the winning action. It makes it more difficult for them. However, against our opponents, I bid 3, and he found a double, so it goes double swish. Very quick pass. I'm like, uh-oh. I ended up going 3 off for minus 800. I ended up losing 4 heart tricks because I only get 1 shot to lead off dummy, and I need to decide what to lead off dummy at one point and what to play if I do. So I ended up losing 4 heart tricks but only 1 spade, rather than losing 2 spade tricks and 3 heart tricks, but I'm still losing lots of tricks for lots and lots off. So minus 800 was a bottom as we played it. So there was another hand in the first set, and this might test your methods, and obviously I made a bid that Magnus didn't know what it meant, and I'm going to show you my hand, and you hold King X, Ace Queen to 4, King X, Ace Queen to 5, so you've got an 18 count, and partner opens the bidding. Ooh. So partner opens 1 no trump, and you're vulnerable, so this is 12 to 14. We can open some 11s, but only when not vulnerable, so he's got 12 to 14 points, so you've got somewhere between 30 and 32 points, so you're probably good enough to bid a quantitative 4N, because you've got a 5th club and you've got honours in all the suits. King X is way better than Queen X's in this particular spot, so you might bid 4N, and partner will bid 6N with a maximum, and if he bids 6N with 13, you can potentially you might be okay, because you've got this 5th club, so although you've only got 31 high card points, you might be okay. However, it's probably better to try and investigate a fit, so you can potentially bid Stamen and then 3 clubs if partner doesn't show hearts or something like that, and try and find a fit first, because it might be better to play in 6 clubs or 6 hearts if you've got a fit there. So I bid Stamen, I bid 2 clubs, and partner bids 2 hearts. Brilliant, we've got a heart fit. What do you do now? And this is a methods thing. Now obviously if you know the bid I made next, if you have that in your arsenal, I think that's the clear bid, but what do you do? So let's think about your options. 3 hearts is non-forcing, it's just an invite to 4. 4 hearts, well that's a sign off. 3N, well you don't want to do that. 4N should be quantitative here, it should be quantitative with the 4 spades effectively. So what you need is some way to make a forcing heart raise. You could splinter, but you haven't actually got a splinter, but you could like manufacture a splinter bid. But the way to play this is to bid 3 of the other major. It shouldn't exist. 3 spades shouldn't exist as a natural bid, and if partner bids spades, 3 hearts shouldn't exist as a natural bid, because partner's denied hearts and you've denied 5. So in this particular case, if you bid Stamen and your partner bids the major you want, you're happy. Don't just smile and then nod and then partner knows you've got hearts. You need to make a legitimate bid, and the bid that doesn't exist in the system is 3 of the other major, and that should be a forcing spade raise, heart raise in this case. So I bid 3 spades as a forcing heart raise. Magnus, I don't think he knew what it meant. He knew it wasn't natural, I think, but he wasn't quite sure, and anyway he kind of just signs off in 4 hearts, and I look at my hand thinking, well, we could have 7 on still. I could have 2, Magnus can't have no cubids there. He just can't. He can't have a hand where he hasn't cubid. So I don't think, when I bid 3 spades and he signs off, I know he must have something. He must have something he could have cubid. He could have bid 3N or 4 clubs or 4 diamonds or something. So I bid keycard. He shows 2 without the queen. I know he hasn't got the queen, and I just bid 6. The full hand comes down here. Magnus takes a heart finesse and a club finesse and makes 13. So it's a slam. It's a slam on 2 finesses, which you need 1 of 2 finesses to make it, and because both are right, I make all 13. So it's a good slam. It's a slam you want to be in, I think, at imps and match points. Potentially 6N might score better because you've got ace king of spades, ace king of diamonds, and they can't attack anything. So 6N actually scores a bit better. But you don't necessarily know which keycard Magnus is missing, and obviously if he's missing the ace of one of your kings, you need to be playing in hearts. So anyway, we scored that scored about 87% at the time, so that helped us hopefully towards winning the first match, but we don't quite know what we've done yet. So this man's played well today. How are we doing, Magnus?
Pretty good.
Good. You can't hear me, you can't hear him this side of the screen, but we're about to have food. It'll be served in the restaurant, which I assume is this area now. We're going to have a look at, or maybe it's over there because they've got cutlery set out over there. So maybe it is over there. Yeah, the venue's quite nice. First to finish, we're kind of keeping the directors on the toes, getting lots of boards and stuff like that. We've won 3 out of 3, but we were 10 behind the leaders going into that because they've won 20-0 twice, haven't they? We haven't won a 20-0 yet, haven't we? So that one might be close. Yeah, that one might be close. So we'll see. So we've got some hands to go through. Wasn't that many interest in the second set, but the third set, some pretty sweet ones. So we'll do that. We doubled a lot, didn't we, Magnus? All right. So see how that goes. So Magnus pulled off a good bid. We're favourable, and Magnus picks up 2 low, ace queen to 5, ace doubleton, ace to 4. So he's got a chunky 14 count. He opens 1 heart, which I agree with. No point opening a weak no trump on this. You need to be showing you a 2 suited hand, and you've got aces. You want to be in suits with aces, and kings and queens and jacks, no trumps. So this goes pass. Your partner bids a spade. Pass. You bid 2 clubs. You bid your hand now. Great. And then the hand that passed over 1 heart wanders in with 2 diamonds. Okay. All right. Well, they are vulnerable here. So maybe he just hasn't got a good suit, or maybe something. So he's just kind of pushing us up a bit. It seems a bit weird when we've bid 3 suits to come in now, because we know if we have a fit or not now, because all 3 suits have been bid, and he can potentially just wander into a penalty anyway. So partner raises to 3 clubs, which is fine, and then he goes 3 diamonds on your right, your bid. Well, you remember what the vulnerability was? You're favourable. Apologies, you're favourable. So if you bid, you're only going off in 50s if it's going off. But more importantly, they're going off in 100s, and the magic match point score is 200. So Magnus found a double on this hand. He doubled this. It goes pass, pass, pass. I found a heart lead, trick 1, leading his suit. We ended up getting a heart ruff, so that Acol has no opportunity to get the diamonds right. If he plays the diamonds to the king, he might have a chance of making it, but not on a heart lead. Went heart to the ace, heart back. When he crossed to the king of spades to play a diamond off, Magnus flew in with the ace and gave me a heart ruff with my queen of diamonds. We cashed 2 clubs for 1 off and 200. It was 100% at the time. Magnus took a while to double. It's the correct bid, I think, on the hand. With partner having spades and partner voluntarily bidding 3 clubs, it feels like the right thing to do. Partner, when they've got 3 low diamonds or something, might lead a diamond, and you might be able to just play 2 or 3 rounds of diamonds at some point. But when partner leads a heart, you end up getting this heart ruff and you beat it. Magnus took a while to double, and you've got to be careful here, because he took a while, and if he passes, he puts me in an awkward position. I was going to double myself. I've got a 9 count. I know we've got hearts and clubs and spades, so I was probably just going to double and lead a diamond potentially. Or I didn't know what I was going to lead, maybe a diamond or a heart. But if Magnus takes a long time before doing it, it's better to take a long time and do something than take a long time and pass, because you put your partner in an awful position. If they were going to do something, you sort of stop them doing it. So great bid, great board for us, and it helped us to win the 3rd match. So just had a nice meal. I think the food is decent. Meat lasagna, vegetarian lasagna, and some other little nibbles. We didn't eat too much because we're eating out tonight. But a lot of Oliver Cowan congresses have food included. There's a little sweet buffet if you like Haribo or things like Haribo. There's fudge as well and chocolate. There's that there you can nibble on. There's free tea and coffee. And we've had just a nice inclusive meal, so that's quite nice. Going to introduce you to someone, if she's ready. She's just eating. We meet it. This is Chucka. They just played the leaders, and we think you've lost, do you? Oh, they lost. And this is the Dame. How you doing?
Hi there.
Yeah. So these are our teammates tomorrow. The Dame joined me in the Uber ride. We picked her up at Crewe. Her real name's Helen, lovely lady, and she has a great taste in cheesy pop music, so that's good. Isn't that right? That is right, isn't it? Yeah. We both like Spice Girls, Acol 7 and weird stuff like that, so don't downvote the video just because you don't. So no heavy metal here, go away Beans. Right, we're going to go back. I think we'll probably be like 2nd or 3rd. The people that played Helen and Chucka they had 40 out of 40 going into that, and they've got another win. So I don't think we can catch them even if we've got 20-0. So we'll be 2nd or 3rd. Hopefully we'll get to play them at some point. We'll get to beat them and then maybe bring them back into the field, which is what you need to do with runaway leaders. Someone needs to beat them heavily. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that can be us. Do you think it's slightly cocky if your partner at half-time asks if there's a trophy for the event when you're in 3rd? I do. My partner's a bit exuberant to win his first ever Swiss event, so he was just asking. He says he was asking for something else, but it's just a bit funny to rib him. So that's for you, Magnus. So you have, I'll give you a hand that we didn't shine on. I think we've lost this match. I don't know how much by, but and if the leaders win again, they're going to be sort of uncatchable, even if we end up playing them in the last round, which is unlikely to happen now because we've probably lost. And this is one of the hands where we didn't do so well on. This is your hand. You have King Jack to 4, Queen 1, Ace King Jack to 4, 3 to the Jack. So you've got this 15 count, and it goes pass, pass, a club. And they're playing Acol, so one club is clubs, and it's you to bid. Well, you kind of want to take an action here. You sort of, with 15 high card points, you kind of want to be doing something. You've got 15? Yeah, you've got 15. And you've got no click up bid, but at pairs, you need to be getting in the auction. So you've got 3, let's assume that passes off the table. You've got 3 poor bids you can make. You can double, you can bid 1N, or you can overcall one of your 4-card suits. If I was going to overcall a 4-card suit here, I would overcall diamonds. You might be able to show you spades later on if they bid hearts or something like that, but if you overcall in spades, 1, you don't really want a spade lead, you really want a diamond lead, and 2, partner's going to raise you more frequently, potentially with only 3, whereas they're not going to do that as liberally with diamonds. So I personally would overcall a diamond, but the person who had this hand passed, and it goes pass, and your partner protects with 1 heart. So this should be 5 hearts, that's fine. And it comes back to you, so it's gone, right-hand opponent's open a club, pass, pass, your partner protects with a heart, and it's you to bid again. So again, you've got several poor options. You can't really raise hearts, because partner's a passed hand, that you might have 4 hearts on if heart's breaking, or if partner's got a good heart suit or something, but you could bid 2 clubs as some sort of raise, unnecessarily, but you're sort of committed to, if you bid 2 clubs, you're sort of committed to being in 4 hearts if partner accepts it, because you haven't got a club stop and you can't really bid 3N on the way. You can't even offer 3N, and you probably can't investigate 3N very often. The only way to investigate 3N is if partner bids 2 hearts and then you bid 3 clubs as a game try in 3N or something. So, and then the only other bid you've got really is you could bid 1 spade, I suppose. Hopefully that should show 4, but you're not showing how good you are, and you could bid 1N, and again you haven't got a club stop. So the person who held this hand passed. So they passed initially, which I probably would have bid a diamond. They passed again. I probably would have done something, maybe bid a spade, maybe bid 2 clubs. I think it's the least of evils, but it's not great. So he passed, and this goes 2 clubs, and your partner, having passed initially and then bid a heart, your partner doubles. Pass to you. So now what do you do? Well, you've sort of been told to bid here. My partner made a decision to pass this out, and they can always make it. The defence was a bit lenient. They gave them no losing option. They forced them to make it, so we forced Declarer to make this. I'll show you the whole hand now. At some point the Queen of Hearts is switched to, which takes away any sort of heart guess. They were probably going to get it right, because I'm likely to have the Ace of Hearts for bidding a heart and over and then doubling. But we ended up conceding 180, and again, one of those things, well, it didn't really bother us necessarily, the bidding. I think the defence is a bit slack, whatever. But there is I'm going to call it the Chris Cooper rule for doubles, and I would, every time you concede a doubled contract, I would want you to check whether your double or passing the double, whatever, meets one of these criteria. You should meet 2 of the 3. So you should have the balance of the points, you should have a trump trick, and you should have reason to believe things aren't breaking well, okay, for the opponents. So generally, if you're going to catch them in any sort of low-level contract where you're not just beating it on power, you should have 2 of those 3. You generally want a trump trick, balance of the points, and reason to believe things are breaking poorly for Declare, or things are poorly placed. Potentially might be a better way of phrasing it. So we check the
Chris Cooper rule for doubles here, and how many do we have for passing out 2 clubs? Well, we have the balance of the points, and that's it. Things aren't necessarily lying poorly for declarer. When you're passing it out, it's likely to be a 9-card fit, and you double him in a 9-card fit in the 2 level without a trump trick. Doesn't feel great. And I think potentially what you should do is maybe lead the king of diamonds to look at dummy and then switch to a trump potentially if there's going to be some roughs. That might be the best way to beat this. If you switch to a trump and then play another trump, you can sort of over-rough them hearts if they try to rough hearts, so they have to draw trumps anyway. So it's one of those hands, one of those pairs ones. If you're not conceding doubled contracts in pairs though, you're not doubling enough. So I don't necessarily feel conceding 180 is game ending. It'll happen, and it should be happening. You should be doing it. We doubled 2 diamonds in an earlier match. We took it 1 off for plus 200. We're doubling 3 diamonds on a different one. We took it 2 off for 500. But again, one off's a top. So you should be doing this. And if you're only doubling when it goes off, you're probably not doubling enough, because you need to be turning these 50s into 100s and 100s into 200s more often. So get your doubles out of the box and start doubling people. But bear in mind the Chris Cooper rule of when to pass these penalty doubles.
So we're 5 rounds in. We've just played the leaders, who were way ahead, and we were in second. We lost round 4 narrowly, but we were clear third, so we stayed in second for some reason. And I think we've won, but I don't think we've won by enough to go first by any means. So couple of defensive problems. I'm going to give you one at a time. So this is going to be the first one. You have the hand on screen. I'm just going to try and remember what I had. I had ace king to 5 spades. I had jack 10 to 4 hearts. I have 2 low diamonds and queen x of clubs. So the hand on my right bids 1. See if you can follow this auction. The hand on my right bids 1 club. So I bid 1 spade. The next hand, having passed initially, bids 2 diamonds, and partner bids 2 spades. Okay, 3 clubs. 3 clubs on my right. 3 diamonds on my left. 3 spades on my right. 4 diamonds on my left. 5 diamonds on my right. So your partner needs a spade, and dummy comes down with this big hand. We've got ace king jack to 7 clubs and the ace of hearts and the stiff queen of diamonds, and the hand that is declaring has bid 2 diamonds, 3 diamonds and 4 diamonds and hasn't opened, so they're passed initially. So partner needs a spade, and it's no surprise that 2 spades cash, partner can't have that many spades, so partner needs a small spade, and it goes spade to the king, spade to the ace. Now what? So it's likely this is going off, because partner has going to have some values in the red suits here, because the declarer hasn't opened. So if declarer's got ace king jack of diamonds, partner's got the king of hearts, for example, or if declarer's missing some diamond on us and got the hearts, then partner's going to have a diamond trick. So I believe it's going off, sort of, whatever you do potentially. But you're looking to try and get it 2 off. What is the best chance for 2 off? Well, one possibility is you play the jack of hearts, playing partner for the king, taking out the entry to the clubs, and maybe you get a diamond trick from partner and maybe a heart trick. You try and set your hearts up. And the other one, slightly more likely, is that partner's got 4 diamonds. And it looks like partner's got 4 diamonds in the auction. So what could those 4 diamonds be? King 10 to 4, ace 9 to 4, blah, 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 something like that. So there are some certain holdings where partner's going to have 4 diamonds, where playing a 3rd spade will allow them to declare to rough their 3rd spade, but set up another trump trick from partner. So I don't know what the right line is, whether it's right to play a heart or a diamond. A spade. I played a heart. That was wrong. I'll show you the full hand now. Partner might have doubled, because the auction sounded really unconvincing. Partner might have doubled ace 9 to 4 diamonds. So maybe playing a heart, which is what I did, is a bit unlucky, because you can't imagine partner's going to have as many diamonds. He's on the verge of doubling. There's no guarantee we've got 2 spades cashing, but when they don't bid 3n, it's likely I've got ace king of spades, and it's whether they cash or not. But even if
we're only cashing one spade. If I go spade, spade, I might be able to just promote him a trump trick. So I think partner should double, and because partner hasn't doubled, maybe a heart for me is right. But if partner doubles, I would just play a spade. I would just try and set partner's trump tricks up, because partner will be doubling with trumps. Partner wouldn't double with heart values here and expect them to be making. So I'm going to wander through some lovely people. Look at these people. So another defensive hand, you've got the following hand. You have Ace, King, X of spades. You've got... I forgot my hand now. You've got 3 hearts to the king. You've got 3 diamonds to the queen, 10. And you've got queen, jack to 4 clubs. So you have this hand. It's a strong no trumpy hand. And the bidding goes 1 heart on your right. So you overcall 1 no trump. You're a bit light for it. I mean, it's a bit light. You're on the weaker end of it, but I think it's absolutely fine bid. You're expecting to make most of the time. You've got values, and partner can transfer you to all 3 of the other suits, and you're absolutely delighted to be doing that. So this goes pass, pass, and then the hand that over opened a heart backs in with 2 diamonds. So you pass, pass, and partner makes the unusual bid of 2 no trumps. What's partner doing? Well, this just feels natural. I think with clubs they can bid clubs, with spades they can bid spades, with a takeout double of diamonds they can double. So partner's bidding 2N just to make. Maybe partner's got hearts with you or something like that and doesn't have a clear-cut bid to make and just wants to compete to 2M because they don't really want to defend 2 diamonds. The hand that opened and whose partner's passed it out bids 3 diamonds. This goes pass, pass, and your partner whacks it. So you're defending 3 diamonds doubled, and the hand that's opened has opened 1 heart, and made 2 diamonds and 3 diamonds into people who are showing like strong balanced hands and balanced hands. So there's got to be a bit of shape about this, I think. And you lead the ace of spades, or you lead the ace of spades for attitude. And dummy goes down with sort of what you expect on this auction. Dummy is 6-0-1-6 with the ace of clubs and nothing else. So what do you do at trick 2? It goes ace of spades small, 8 of spades from partner, which is discouraging, and queen of spades from declarer. Now you'd imagine if partner had 2 spades, they might have encouraged, maybe. What's going on? What should you be doing at trick 2? Well, by the Cooper law of doubles here, partner's likely to have a diamond on her a lot of the time. Partner's likely to be doubling with a trump trick and the balance of the points, or a trump trick and heart values, or heart values and the balance of the points. Just one of those things. So if you don't switch to a trump, they're going to rough a heart. And look at the auction. Partner's bid 2N and hasn't shown another suit. Partner's going to have at least 4 hearts here. So partner's going to have heart tricks, queen 10 to 4 hearts, ace jack to 4 hearts, something in hearts that declarer's not going to be able to set the hearts over. So you've got the king, and partner will have hearts here. They haven't got anything in spades really. Look at your clubs, look at dummy's clubs. Partner might have the king. What are they doubling on? They're going to have hearts and maybe a diamond on her. So whatever diamond on her they have, it doesn't cost you to switch to a diamond. And if partner has no diamond on us, you're swapping your diamond trick, your natural diamond trick, for the heart ruff. So I think it's right to switch to a diamond at trick 2 here. Partner didn't. Partner thought just playing the queen of clubs would guarantee 1 off, and partner just counted some tricks and so on. But declarer managed to ruff a heart and then started cross-ruffing and so on, and ended up making a lot of their small trumps, so ended up only going 1 off. Now, 1 off doubled was still a good board. It's not a hand that either side wants to declare. If you declare it, you lose the board, basically. We doubled them, and most people are declaring it our way, and anyone playing it north-south is just going off. And what we needed to do to get a great board instead of a good board is take it 2 off, and I think a diamond switch at trick 2 is right. Difficult to see and difficult to lead away from this queen, but think about what partner's got for the auction and what partner's likely to have for their double, and I think it's right to play a diamond.
So, good news and bad news. Good news, we won the last match. Bad news is it was against Chucker and Helen, so they were actually mathematically in with a chance of winning the event. We weren't. We got paired up against them. We beat them by enough to pinch them by a place. It looks like we're going to finish in 4th. We won 4 out of 6. We lost 12-8 and 11-9. We actually lost to the leaders. It felt like we had a good card, and I guess just our early boards must have been a bit worse, I thought, than they were.
I'm going to leave you. We're going to go away for a nice dinner, and we're going to go back to the hotel. Hopefully we don't have to get a kayak there. I'm going to leave you with one hand that Magnus played in the last set. So you've got the north-south cards here, or whichever direction they are. I might change it to north-south. And you end up in 6N. After the bidding, a weak no trump, pass 6M, swish. So they lead the 3 of spades, and you win with the jack or the queen or the ace, and you're just going to count your tricks. How many tricks are you going to make? Well, you're going to make several spades. You're probably going to make 5 spades. On the spade lead, when everyone follows, you're going to make 5 spades. You're going to make the ace of hearts is 6. You make ace king of diamonds is 8, and you've got the ace king queen of clubs is 11. So you've got 11 tricks, and very good chances for 12 or maybe 13. If the diamonds behave, you can make all the diamonds as well. So hypothetically, well, I'll tell you what happened. At trick 2, Magnus played the queen a second spade, and the opening leader shows out. So the person who led a spade only led a singleton, and they discard a heart. And then Magnus lays down the ace of diamonds, and diamonds are 5-0 the other way. So the queen of diamonds is on side, but they've got 5 of them. So although that gets your total to 12, it doesn't give you your 13th trick. There's no way to make these diamonds. There's no way they're going to throw 2 diamonds away, which they would need to do for you to make 13. So you're making 12, and what are your prospects for 13 once the spades break 4-1 and the diamonds break 5-0? Well, it looks like you're just going to take the heart finesse for 13. And that's a reasonable play. Is there another way of doing it? Yes. There is a squeeze in hearts and diamonds. So at this point, if you can visualize it, it doesn't matter where the king of hearts is. If you can work out who's got it, you can make 13. If you think the opening leader's got the king of hearts, you need to rattle off all your black tricks, finishing in hand. The last black card, if they've got the king of hearts, they can't guard the diamonds and the king of hearts. They need to retain enough diamonds. They need to retain. They can only throw 1 diamond away, otherwise dummies diamonds come in with a finesse, and therefore they need to bear their king of hearts, and so it will drop under the ace. Alternatively, if the other hand has the king of hearts, you just take a finesse. So what's more likely? Well, there is something called the law of vacant spaces, and basically once you're in a hand, you can try and work out who's more likely to have more hearts, and given that you play the person with more hearts is more likely to have the missing heart you want, so in this case the king. So you know that the opening leader has a singleton spade and 5 diamonds, and you know the person to your right has 4 spades and no diamonds. So the person to your right has 2 more vacant spaces, i.e. places in their hand that they could have hearts. So although you don't know the heart length, you know the person to your right is more likely to have more hearts. So you take the finesse. It's offside, 12 tricks. It's one of those things. So if you, like in this case, you could have made 13 tricks, however, wherever the king of hearts is, as long as you can work it out. But I think I would have done what Magnus did. Magnus took the finesse. Although I do like making squeezes, and I think if it was 50-50, if the vacant spaces were equal, I would have gone for the squeeze, because I think it's a much more enjoyable thing, and then it would have made this vlog and we would have done it in detail and I'd have smiled and smiled and smiled. Anyway, we're back tomorrow. We came 4th out of 24 pairs or something like that, with 4 wins from 6, no big losses. We had a good time, we had fun, there was some interesting hands. Hopefully we'll be back tomorrow for some Swiss teams, and that video will come out in a few days time. So peace out, see you soon.